Asbestos management is a key part of your church building maintenance routine. I visited a church in Liverpool to find out more about asbestos in church buildings.
This is St Athanasius Church, which was built in 1957. These are the doves going up, the Holy Spirit going up, and at the back we've got the doves going down.
This is a duct that runs throughout the church. The underside of the duct contains an asbestos panel. This one's asbestos cement. There is the potential that this does get damaged, which is why it needs to be inspected on a regular basis. The ducts could be lagged with asbestos, and if that's been done a long time ago, then that could actually have deteriorated and fallen off, which would create a problem.
There are a lot of churches that have either been built, particularly in the early post-war period, which have got a lot of asbestos in, and that takes some careful management. It can be very expensive to remove.
Any building that's been refurbished or built after 1930s could potentially have asbestos in it, right up to 2000.
You can have asbestos guttering, asbestos downpipes that have been added, even sections of asbestos sheet roof. You often find asbestos has been introduced to older churches when a heating system's been installed. You often find it as pipe lagging, for instance. These photographs show a cellar where it's been left and it's flooded and it's been there for years, and the asbestos now, you can see it in the pipe lagging, is in absolutely terrible condition, and all that sludge at the bottom almost certainly has a lot of asbestos fibre in it, so great care is going to need to be taken to remove that. The asbestos in that particular case was found during a survey, and it has been identified as a very high risk material because of its condition, and as a consequence, until it can be safely and legally removed, nobody is permitted to access that area. Well, number one, it's the law and we can't escape that. But number two, I think there's a very important aspect of Christian stewardship here. We don't want anything bad to happen to the people who use our buildings, and as part of our Christian commitment, as part of our love for one another, we need to make sure that our buildings are safe in every respect.
There's the potential for asbestos fibre release. If they don't know about it, they could disturb the asbestos. It causes lung problems if the fibres get into your lung and become airborne.
Yeah, well, number one is obviously get it surveyed as soon as possible if it hasn't been already. Number two is that with each survey report there will be a management report which tells church wardens exactly how the asbestos needs to be managed and indeed how often it will need to be re-inspected. And it is important that you stick to that schedule. If it says it's got to be re-inspected, say every year, that's to make sure it hasn't deteriorated and it isn't releasing fibres into the air. Well, UCAS accreditation is very important because by law, anybody, even if they don't know the first thing about asbestos management, can set up as an asbestos surveyor. The UCAS accreditation gives them a form of accountability so that we know that the processes they're following and the reports they produce are compliant with the law. Maintenance Booker from the National Churches Trust is an absolutely free resource which any church, whether it's listed, unlisted, of any denomination, can register, and that has a number of pre-vetted asbestos contractors on board who are UCAS accredited, who are competent and reliable, and who can carry out the surveys and give you the reports that you need for your peace of mind and legal compliance.
As we've seen, asbestos could be found in many parts of your church building. If your church is in England or Wales, you can register with Maintenance Booker on maintenancebooker.org.uk to ensure that all of your asbestos management needs are covered.